So in episode 5 of the Rock on Cleveland transformation of the WOIO 6 p.m. newscast in the week preceding the groundbreaking of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that is featured, as well as the interviews with the political figures that made the Rock Hall possible. Well, wait a minute. The musicians made the Rock Hall possible. Oh no, it was Jan Winter. Yeah. He got down on his knees and prayed. I think that's what he was doing.
From Cleveland Television News, this is 19 News at 6.
And this is the weekend the whole world is waiting for. Good evening, everyone. I'm Denise DeFalo.
And I'm Emmett Miller. We're live once again from the hottest spot in Cleveland.
That's right. 10 years of planning and heartache can now be summed up in just a few words.
Absolutely. Mike O'Mara spent the day combing through the crowds that are here today. Right now he's resting aboard the Mather.
Mike, how you hanging in there?
Hanging in there? Well, hey, it's easy. I got to tell you, because all the excitement and energy down here is contagious. Well, what an incredible day for the city, because I got to tell you, when they cut that ribbon at the Hall, we proved to the planet that this city really is built on rock and roll.
We built this city on rock and roll.
We've waited so many years for people to show respect for this city, and now we've got it, and people can see our wonderful city.
And boy, did we look good. The hall glistened by the lake. Thousands crowded to the site, many with cameras in hand trying to get a shot of the stars like Yoko and Little Richard.
4, 3, 2.
It's amazing. I just can't believe I did this and got here.
A rock history lesson. We're even missing school for it.
Why? Because it's rock and roll and it's Cleveland. It's a wonderful city. It's where it belongs.
I remember all the people saying, I just don't know about Cleveland. I'm just not sure they're going to make it. I'm just not sure that they have what it takes. Well, today, we're telling the whole world that we've got what it takes, and we're doing it.
2.
I'm so sorry that Elvis isn't here, and whoever else passed on, Alan Freed. This really would have meant a lot to them. It meant a lot to me. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too, 73-year-old Angie Shirovic, and everybody else in Cleveland to help prove that we built the city with rock and roll. And Emmett and Denise, I got to tell you that a lot of people are quoting Huey Lewis in the news that the heart of rock and roll is in Cleveland. And I guess we proved that today, didn't we?
The pulse is very strong, Mike.
Still beating, as he says at the end of the song.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely. And it's so nice to walk around and see everybody smiling about our city. And as you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame festivities stepped off this morning with a very big parade downtown.
Absolutely. Ben Hobart spent the day among the rockers and rollers and was dancing in the streets.
Even though the parade stepped off 40 minutes behind schedule, thousands still line 9th Street to have a little fun.
It's great. It's the best thing that's happened to Cleveland in a long time.
Are you excited today?
Yes, I'm excited today.
Poodle skirts and bobby socks reminded many of younger days, because with rock and roll in our hearts, we are forever young.
Everything.
Wow.
Like it all.
Wow.
He missed most of the 60s. Yeah. Remember, anyone who can remember the 60s wasn't really there.
And who could forget the Flower Child and the Peace Generation?
And also with you.
Now, the parade also included an opportunity to test your rock imagination. Any idea what these are? Of course, the Rolling Stones. And this one's real easy. Yes, these are the Beatles. Ooh, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. Now that's the Motown sound.
Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Think it all over.
Now, no rock and roll parade would be complete, even though this is the first one, without the King.
Oh, yeah!
You hound dog, crying all the time. Okay, thank you very much. That's all I'm going to do.
Uh-huh. Yeah, me too, Elvis. Thank you very much. along the parade route. Ben Holbert, 19 News.
Oh, it looked like a lot of fun. And as you just saw, definitely a lot of spectacular acts in the big parade today. But perhaps the most awe-inspiring spectacles were the actual spectators themselves.
Yes, and Christy Carlson, brave soul that she is, spent the day in the madness.
Come out tonight.
They all had one thing in common, the desire to witness a once-in-a-lifetime event.
The ones you can't read are great. Keith Richards, you cannot read, but it's great. Jeff Beck was one of my most recent ones, and it looks more like Jeff Moose.
Some were stalking stars for autographs.
Who are you trying to get today?
Well, actually, I'm probably not going to get him ever, but it's Chuck Berry, and I'm going to bribe him if I have to, because he already refused it once.
What are you going to offer him?
I don't know. I got a 50 and 100, and if that don't do it, I don't want him.
Also among the crowd, faces and voices from the past.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. And I don't know what else. Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to strawberry fields. Something like that. I don't know.
Very good.
Goes.
Did you get to see Yoko today?
Yeah, it was great up on the stage. You know, she was way up there and I was way over here. So.
And while we did find lots of colorful people, as you can see, I would say for the most part, it seemed like a pretty conservative crowd. Looked like a lot of people maybe took off from work early to come down. A lot of families, a real nice atmosphere down here today, and everyone seemed really glad to be able to be part of this historic event. Emmett and Denise.
Good representation of Cleveland, it sounds like. The real, true folks.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting also to get sort of a perspective on rock and roll and the musicians that have come through Cleveland, because Cleveland is such a hub of rock and roll and of music itself. I caught up with Lou Stokes, Congressman Lou Stokes, a little earlier yesterday, and he shared a bit of his own memories with me.
There were many other musicians who came out of Cleveland who were not necessarily rock and roll, but who were great musicians. Art Tatum, one of the world's greatest pianists, came right out of here. You could go up on Cedar Avenue at 97th Street at any time, any night, and just listen to him play. Nancy Wilson is right down the street here in Columbus.
Oh, that's terrific. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, I want to see the OJs. They're one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then, of course, after that, I'll just take whatever. Chuck Berry, all of them.
I'll take it. As long as it's in this museum, I'll take it.
That's right.
Thanks a lot. By the way, as people probably know, Lou's a member of the board for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's right, that's right. Who do you want to see here tonight?
You know, the Allman Brothers.
Yeah?
I've always loved the Allman Brothers. It's very strange. I never grew up with country music, but I love the Allman. Dickie Betts guitar is in there, and I'd love to see that too.
Good. I want to see Yoko. I'm going to go hunt for her a little later on, and we are going to be right back with more of 19 News in a minute.
A beautiful shot of North Coast Harbor. Down here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we're live once again. And it's been an absolutely wonderful day here with the ribbon-cutting ceremonies and everything else that's been going on.
It has been.
Absolutely. We're here live once again. All loving the brand new building that's behind us and the planes that are going overhead for the Cleveland National Air Show that's taking place this weekend, too.
It's a gorgeous building, but that other big building right next to it is Cleveland Stadium, and that could use some attention as well. Dave Barker has been following today's developments on that. Dave?
Hey, let's get back to the big story that's putting Cleveland on the worldwide map tonight down at the Palace of Rock and Roll. Denise and Emmett, back to you.
Thanks very much, Dave. Worldwide is right. We've been seeing bumper stickers and license plates from out of town, and lots of people here that really love what's going on in this city as we do right now. You know, it's a great honor to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's an even greater honor to get to walk through it with one of the greatest singers of all time.
That's right, but our very own Michael Shevsky got to do just that today with the one and only Mary Wilson of the Supremes. Mike?
Oh, what excitement today. You know, Mary, as we went through that hall, I couldn't help but think this is the chance of a lifetime. Not only am I in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I'm there with an inductee, and it was a great trip.
Oh, it was great. And you know, we had a chance to catch up with some of my old friends. I think we're going to show a clip, right?
I think so.
All right. It was very exciting.
Egos is all over this place. You know,
I know. I mean, who would have think when we were doing all that stuff, we'd be in history in the museum?
It was going to be dead in no time.
It was also a chance to meet some new friends.
And glad that you're with us today. And I would like to extend an invitation for you to come to Beechwood, stay in our premier hotels,
Can
and
I
visit
get a
our
key?
shopping
Can I get
center.
a key to Beechwood?
If you come to Beechwood, I will give you a key in my office.
How about the key to the city instead? Mary got a close-up look at the collection, tried the interactive displays, and even got a chance to look in the HMV record store.
This is one of the greatest one right here. Supreme Sing A Go-Go in the bell-bottom days.
Mary still had a chance to meet fans, lots of fans, but time was short, and her visit to the hall for today had to come to an end.
I'll see you later. We'll be back on the air in a few minutes, and I'll talk with some more inductees and all the stars here. And this is on behalf of Channel 19, Channel 43. Mary, signing off.
Absolutely phenomenal. Now, you are going to a big black tie gala tonight.
That's exactly, except I'm wearing red.
Okay.
But anyway, no, it should be great because I understand that Little Richard would be there.
That's what we understand.
I mean, all the inductees who are in town will be there, so it's going to be great.
And we'll have details a little later on here on Channel 19.
Hey, Mike, say hi for us, will you?
She looks absolutely stunning. Mary, you're gorgeous.
Oh, boy. It's gotten cold out here, hasn't it?
It's gotten a little bit chilly out.
Yeah, we've been going live all day long, and the sun's been out, the clouds have stayed away, but it looks like things are shifting.
And this is Cleveland on the Lakefront. Julie Hanahan will be coming up next with a look at our weekend forecast for the big Labor Day weekend.
Today, history is being made in Cleveland with the opening of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tonight at 7, see the opening through the eyes of one enshrined there. The Supremes' Mary Wilson takes us behind the scenes for an inside look at the day's activities. Join us as rock and roll's past and future come together and all of Cleveland celebrates. Former MTV host Nina Blackwood joins Denise Dufalla and Emmett Miller for Rock on Cleveland. Live tonight at 7 on 19 WOIO.
Did it seem a little chilly out there to you today? Maybe you were hunting around for a sweater even? Well, it was a little cooler than we're used to out there, but a gorgeous day along the North Coast. Just a little bit of hint of fall in the air, one way or the other. And again, there's another shot of the North Coast and our newest addition to the North Coast as well. Let's take a look at the almanac for today and see what type of temperatures we ran into.
Now back to Denise and Emmett at the Rock Hall.
In the background, we're having trouble hearing everything. It's the air show.
I think those are F-16s, if
Looks
I'm not
like it.
mistaken. Air Force F-16s for the
Right.
Cleveland National Air Show that's coming up this weekend. A real wonder to see in the air.
And we have another special coming up, and we're going to share that with you when we come right back.
As it took place today, and all of the inductees that are here making this all a wonderful, wonderful day. Want to see some really impressive numbers? Take a look at the economic impact of the Rock Hall. If the predictions at this point are accurate, from what we know, the opening of this musical monument is going to generate about $84.5 million for the local economy. First-year estimates of the number of visitors to the Rock Hall, 1 million. More than 75% will be out-of-state visitors. The good news is that this means more money and more jobs for Northeast Ohio. And, of course, the North Coast is going to reap the benefits of this as well.
Definitely, definitely. There's no question the excitement surrounding this building is going to have a major impact on our city for many years to come. And it brings a lot of visitors from around the world right here to Northeast Ohio to see what a great place this is right here along the lakefront. And we have a lot of North Coast pride that went into making that all a reality, as many of you at home know. And tonight at 7 o'clock, we're going to have more of that for you, plus more of Michael Shefsky's jaunt around the Rock Hall with the one and only Mary Wilson of the Supremes.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, Mary Wilson is standing right to our left. Come on over and say hi.
Say hello.
Just a real quick.
It's cold over here.
We know you're not mic'd up. Isn't this wonderful?
Great to see you.
Thank you.
It's
thank
so
you.
nice of you to come and
so
be with
wonderful.
us for this great occasion.
Thank you very much. You know, you were mentioning how much money it will generate. I think that's great. You know, more jobs for people, and they get a chance to see all the music that we made back in the 60s and
That's
50s. Great.
More
Just
jobs,
fabulous.
and they get to see your fine music down there.
You don't know what a thrill it is to be standing next to somebody who's literally a legend.
Well, I hope it's a good feeling.
It is a great feeling.
Boy, if all legends look this good, I'll tell you.
Bring them all on, all the Supremes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. We'll be seeing more of you at 7 o'clock.
All right, good, good.
And now it's time to join the CBS Evening News.
Well, take care, everybody. See you at 7. Rock on, Cleveland.
And America laughed at this city for years. But guess who's getting the last laugh? Bill Geist has the story. Finally, think of country music, you think of Nashville. Jazz, New Orleans. But what about rock and roll? Well, as of today, Bill Geist reports, rock has found a permanent home in a city that has suddenly gone from hapless to hippest.
3, 2, 1.
Today marks the grand opening of the long-awaited and much ballyhooed Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Not in Detroit, Memphis, or Philadelphia, but Cleveland. Why Cleveland? Why not? Local disc jockey Alan Freed did coin the phrase rock and roll here, and Cleveland raised the money and fought the hardest to become the Cooperstown of rock and roll. Even if it meant embarrassing themselves a little, here the Ohio legislature auditions for the part, performing the state's official rock and roll song.
Long live rock!
Today's Hall of Fame opening is something of a grand reopening for the entire city of Cleveland. It had become known as the buckle on the Rust Belt, as industry moved out and almost half the city's population along with it. It became the first city since the Depression to default on its debts. And its polluted river, the Cuyahoga, actually caught on fire. Cleveland became monologue material for the nation's comedians. A punchline, the mistake on the lake. And not only a dirty city, but deathly dull. No more. Trendy restaurants and nightclubs sprout on the banks of the river where those infamous flames formerly floated. Clevelandians are proud.
The river's clean, the fish are coming back. You can even eat some of the fish out of it. Not that I would.
The city's grand old theaters stand restored and reopened. The Cleveland Symphony is among the world's finest, and even the Indians are good. Since moving into their spanking new ballpark last year, the chronically bad Tribe has somehow turned into the best team in baseball. Go figure.
I think this is something that will put Cleveland on the map as a place where people are going to want to go. We're projecting about 1 million people the first year.
Cleveland's Polka Hall of Fame is currently projecting maybe a few visitors per week, but they're hoping rock and roll fans will pay them a visit too.
Here we go.
And this is, who again?
Frankie Mullick.
We don't have any tourists in Cleveland. This is going to be an unusual phenomenon. I don't know exactly how people are going to deal with tourists in Cleveland.
Hordes of tourists descending on Cleveland. The Indians leading the lead. It all seems some sort of post-industrial dream, as miraculous in its way as the nightmare of burning water. Bill Geist, CBS News, Cleveland.
And that's the CBS Evening News. For Dan Rather, I'm John Roberts in New York. I'll see you again on Sunday night. Thanks for joining us and have yourself a great holiday weekend. Good night.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum is officially open.
CBS News. Have you seen your country today?
The following is a special presentation from 19 WOIO. Live from North Coast Harbor, the newly christened home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is Rock on Cleveland.
From now until Tuesday morning, we are going to party.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The mayor and these pictures say it all. The years of waiting, dreaming, planning, and campaigning have finally paid off. Good evening, everyone. I'm Denise DeFalla.
And I'm Emmett Miller. Cleveland rocks the world. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is now open for business.
It certainly is, Emmett, and the feeling here today is hard to put into words. Excitement and exhilaration just can't come close. We can hear the music from here. Nina Blackwood, our music reporter, is joining us today. A lot of fun out here.
I've had such a great time, and we saw a lot of familiar faces in the crowd today, local VIPs and legends in the music business, and all of them very thrilled to be part of this historic event.
We couldn't have asked for a more beautiful day, a more special celebration, or better speakers.
What a long, strange trip it's been to Grateful Dead. I'm here today because rock and roll changed my life. And we are here because we love rock and roll and the artists and those people in the rock and roll business who bring it to us.
We knew a long time ago that rock and roll was here to stay. From this day forward, it will always have a place to call home, Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow, woo! What have you done? What are you doing? You are changing the map of America. You are now changing the map of the world. You have done this by coming together, and I love you for it.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields. Something like that, I don't know.
Very
Something
good.
goes.
Did you get to see Yoko today?
Yeah, it was great up on the stage. You know, she was way up there and I was way over here, so.
The thousands of Clevelanders on hand couldn't have been more excited. 73-year-old Angie Shirovic told Mike O'Mara why, for her, this is such an important day.
I was the history. I started with it. And I'm glad I lived to see it. I'm so sorry that Elvis isn't here and whoever else passed on, Alan Freed. This really would have meant a lot to them. It meant a lot to me. God bless you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
And by the looks of things at the stadium, tomorrow will be a pretty special one, too.
And among the dozens of inductees that were down there, here's a face you may have recognized. She's a class of 1988, an inductee. She's also a benefactor. She is Mary Wilson of the Supremes. What a thrill.
Thank you, Emmett.
This is terrific.
It was absolutely fabulous. I had a chance to interview a lot of my dear, dear friends, Salmon Days. Oh, I mean, just great. George Clinton. It was just wonderful.
Absolutely.
So it's been a great
and you
day.
spent the day with Michael Shevsky.
Yes, I did.
Yes, absolutely. I'll tell you something. You know, I thought I really knew my stuff, but this Mary Wilson is quite the rock and roll reporter, and we've got the film to prove it.
That's right.
Well, today it was definitely not what you know, but who. With Mary, I went right down into the main exhibit hall.
I'm so excited because, you know, no one's in here yet. I mean, this is very, very exclusive right now. It's not open yet. And I want everybody to see that these are the Supremes gowns. And we have I'm on the left here, I guess Diane in the center, and Florence over there. These are the gowns that we wore on the TCB special with the Temptations.
From the gown display, Mary and I went to see if we could find her place in the collection room.
I'm going to push Supreme. Look at Diane towering up high above everybody else.
On our way through the hall, Mary bumped into a couple of old friends, fellow inductees, George Clinton.
Are you having a good time in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Ball, I'm having a ball.
All right.
Egos is all over this place. You know,
I know. I mean, who would have think when we were doing all that stuff, we'd be in history in the museum?
It was going to be dead in no time.
And Sam Moore.
Hi, darling. I got to talk to you. I got to talk to you.
What are you turning to?
How are you enjoying yourself, Sam? What's so funny? You're supposed to. I'm trying to get a quote from you, Sam.
Are you going to? Yes, Mary. I really am. I really am.
The only person who didn't seem to know Mary Wilson of the Supremes was Ohio Governor George Voinovich.
Hello, I'm Mary Wilson of the Supremes, and it's so nice to be in your city. I am just thrilled that you're an old rock and roller.
Right, yeah, oh yeah.
I was with the Supremes.
Oh, where are you?
Yes, you're laughing at me. I'm an old teenager, and I'm so thrilled that you were like part of this, that you were like responsible now. I just love it.
Are you one of the Supremes?
Yes, I'm interviewing you.
I think it's fantastic.
Mary, you've had some experience with that microphone, haven't you?
That was really great. I mean, he said, "Are you really Mary Wilson of the
You had to
Supremes?"
convince him.
I
That
know,
was the
I
look
feel
of
it.
disbelief on his
He
face?
couldn't believe it. He couldn't. You know what? But did you see George Clinton, the original Mothership?
Yes,
Oh, I
yes,
loved
indeed.
it.
Yes,
but you know
indeed.
what? Tomorrow I got somebody. I'm going to try to get Aretha Franklin for us.
Wow,
I'm going to
terrific.
try to get Little Richard. So tomorrow we're going to have a great time. It's going to be wonderful.
It sounds great. Of course, the concert is tomorrow night as well from the stadium. It should be a wonderful event. Mary will be there too.
Thank you so much.
Terrific.
Did you see that blonde wig?
That was great. The Doors Day. Look, hey, you know, we have some more concert information for you coming up and a quick music quiz. Now, what does this record store have in common with the Beatles? We'll have the answer a bit later in the show. Right now, we go back to Denise and Nina on the steamship William Mather.
Take it away.
All right, thanks, guys. You know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame took 10 years to build. It cost $92 million and would not have become a reality without the blood, sweat, and tears of several key people in our community.
And we'll talk to one of Cleveland's key campaigners, part of a team to bring the museum to the birthplace of rock and roll when we return.
First, though, listen to one of Cleveland's rock and rollers spin his favorite tune.
Hi, I'm Michael Stanley from 98.5 NCX. I've been on the air here for, 5 or 6 years, something like that. But radio, that's what it's all about. My favorite rock and roll tune of all time, no question about it. From the Born to Run CD or album, whichever you got, if you still have those vinyl things. Jungle Land, The Boss.
Rock On Cleveland is sponsored by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Your Ford dealers are winning Ohio over. Best Cuts, we've got your style. Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. Galleria at Erie View, East 9th and St. Clair downtown. And Best Buy. Some places are known for great music. Best Buy is one of them.
Together they take a step.
When Cleveland decided to go after the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a key group of community leaders got involved in that process.
They, along with then Mayor George Voinovich and former Governor Dick Celeste, convinced the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation that this city deserved and would support the museum.
Definitely, and I'm proud to say that one of those men is my boss and the owner of Mallright Communications, Milton Maltz. Mr. Maltz is with us tonight. Thanks for joining us.
You can call me Uncle Milty, dear.
Uncle Milty, definitely. And now that you've had a chance to go through the museum and you see this magnificent building here, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, Denise, I think we owe a debt of gratitude to a cast of thousands. And although there were a number of us that played a certain role, it took the people of this community. And I'd like to say to all of Cleveland, thanks. The credit goes to you as much as to anyone else.
How did you guys convince the foundation in New York that Cleveland was it, there was no better place?
Well, I think we had a contest that USA Today originated.
Right.
At the time, I owned a radio station in the city, and I said, what we're going to do is inundate USA Today with more phone calls, and they were 50 cents a call, Denise. And Dick Clark, a friend of mine in Los Angeles, hails from Philadelphia, and he was absolutely stunned. They had a couple of thousand calls. New York had a few hundred calls. Cleveland, 110,000.
Bombarded them.
And then we had signatures from all the malls, Parmatown, you name it, all the malls of over 600,000 signatures. We bowled them over.
How did you keep that momentum going, though, when there were so many times we didn't think it was going to become a reality?
The momentum was not kept all the time. There were times when there was fade, and it looked like it was all over. And there were times, I recall, when I got a call from the chairman of one of the major record companies and said, you know, Cleveland only won it by one vote. And if I were you, you better keep buttoned down because there are people who want to see it go somewhere else.
Oh, my goodness.
We just, as my wife said, you're not so smart, you're just more stubborn.
Ah.
And it's close to 10 and a half years we've been on the project. But it's here, and it's fun. It's Cleveland,
and
it's rock and roll, and we love it.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on your efforts paying off. And for the city, it's a wonderful gift for all of us to enjoy.
We're looking for close to 1 million visitors a year, and this is only the beginning. One of our next projects is a winter festival right here on the lakefront.
Good deal.
As St. Paul has.
And as Yoko said it best, wow-wee, what have you done? Emmett, let's check in with you now at the platform.
Milt, your smile says it all, let me tell you. Congratulations. He's an old friend that many of you are going to recognize. He'll be familiar to everyone out there. His unique perspective on rock and roll when we come back. Also, after a break, Michael Shefsky's going to be back to tell us what this place has in common with the Fab Four. Stay with us.
Let's move to Cleveland. I've been there.
Back live now at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Listen, everything that you've seen out here, this man, rock reporter Michael Shefsky, has been chronicling, bringing us exclusives, everything that's been going on, and a few surprises along the way.
Plenty of surprises, I would say, Emmett, and I'll tell you, all the work was certainly worth it. Now, we've seen a lot of dignitaries, and we've certainly seen the musicians here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but you may be surprised that all the dignitaries that are here today are musical, but they may not exactly be musicians. It was one of the most sought-after spots in the hall, and it's now occupied by the oldest record retailer in the world. The HMV record stores are close to 75 years old, but happy to start a new life on the shores of Lake Erie.
I love the place. I think it's great, very appropriate that the Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, where it all began, and we're very excited about being here.